welcome back to Bayou City Geeks, episode 45. This time I hit the record button. I'm your co-host, Bobby Bearhart, and with me as always...
I'm Jason Elliott.
All right, so we got a lot of stuff to cover. We're still quarantined, obviously. We're still having to deal with COVID. So we have video games, thank God. Last of Us 2 just dropped.
Finally dropped. Yeah, it was supposed to come out back in February, then May, and now June. June. It actually dropped on Juneteenth.
Yeah.
And it's a very appropriate release too. Very timely. Dealing with a pandemic and outbreak that basically tears the world in half. I'm just gonna get right down to it. I'm not enjoying this game as much as the first one.
Okay.
There's a lot of scavenging you got to do in this game. A lot of cinematics. A
lot of cinematics.
And the thing is, a lot of cinematics, and there's a character in there that's very divisive amongst fans named Abby. I'm not going to say what she does because, I know you're only, at the beginning pretty much,
right.
And I've played, more than you have. And, I've kind of wrestled with this because I really, really, really wanted to like the game. And, people were praising it, saying it like it was like a masterpiece. And then I saw a review that said, hey, it's 6, 7 out of 10, which
right.
I agree with because it is not a flawless masterpiece. I mean, it's more, it's not as linear as the first game. It's more, kind of, you can scavenge and go scrounge around for supplies and whatnot. There's hardly any ammo in the game.
Really?
So, yeah. So basically, you're doing a lot of stealth kills, which
I've learned that. That's something
you're
yeah.
doing a lot of stealth kills. I mean, which. Okay, I guess I can see, when the world comes to an end, bullets are not going to really be manufactured all that much,
That is true.
Unless, you're doing it yourself. But, so choose your shots carefully, folks. I don't know. It's a big game, 25 to 30 hours. And I'm almost at the halfway point. And it's just like I'm kind of conflicted and torn. I mean, I give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I mean, okay. Rob, you're kind of early in on it.
Yeah, I'm early in. So far I have it at a 4.5 out of 5. My big detraction from it is that when I start a video game, I want to just jump into the game.
Yeah, you don't want to be having movie after movie after movie.
Right, and so a lot of it is me watching cinematic after cinematic after cinematic, and I get
comes off like Metal Gear Solid 4.
Right, and I appreciate it, and I applaud it, and I love the story. But I want to play the goddamn game.
Yeah, I mean, and I sometimes and I sympathize too, and I mean it's still a good game. The graphics, pretty awesome.
Amazing.
Play control is a little wonky for me, but I guess with me, playing this is just kind of, it just kind of comes off wonky,
Okay.
I mean, for some reason. Story wise, I mean, good story, but I think it's done a little out of order, or like it's not placed correctly. Because like if you were to play as Abby, then and then as Ellie, then okay,
right.
I see that. But the thing is, they get that familiarity with Abby, with Ellie,
right,
and then they drop you in the Abby story. So
gotcha.
I mean, because you're trying to get that familiar, face in there, and then before starting you off with a different character.
Gotcha. All right. I mean, I don't have an issue with that, but like Ashley was watching me play, and she was like, "Well, wait, what happened to the other girl? Who's this?" And like, exactly. I kind of like explain to her, the world. So right now, like I said, 4.5 for me. On top of that, we also got the new reveal of the PS5.
Yes, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't get a price point. No price point, of course.
Well, I thought I read that the combo was gonna be like 700.
Yeah, the combo will be 700, but like if you're just getting like the system itself,
right?
I'm gonna guess like $500. I mean, I don't see a $600, $700 system ever again from Sony because they learned from the PS3, and that's why people flock to the Xbox, in the early going because it was cheaper.
Yeah.
And from the games that we saw, oh boy, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, that is going to be the game of
that would be the game, and kind of like how when you watched Into the Spider-Verse or Black Panther, I really and I mean this in like the best way. I really hope it's like a black game.
Yeah, I mean,
I really hope
you got a black protagonist,
exactly.
which you don't really have too much of in video games.
Right, exactly. So when Into the Spider-Verse came out, like dropped, it was Miles and that really great soundtrack. Same with Black Panther, the soundtrack that Kendrick Lamar put together for it. It was very, very that character.
Yeah.
So I'm really.
And the graphics, oh boy,
it's not amazing.
It is not Spider-Man 2 like a lot of people thought. I thought that too.
I think everyone did. But it's a nice little side story.
Yeah, it's akin to Lost Legacy, the Uncharted series. Like they came after Uncharted 4. So I expect it to be like a 10 to 15 hour game. It kind of comes as a warm up to Spider-Man 2, which we probably won't get maybe until next year, 2022.
I think it's 2021, 2022. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but you know what? Here's the thing, and here's where, like when Red Dead 2 finally dropped, because you kept getting pushed back. While I always want the game to come out as soon as possible,
take your time.
I respect the fact that they take their time to make sure that it is the best it could be. Like Last of Us 2, it's supposed to come out, got delayed.
February and then May and then now June. And it's a timely, and you know what? And it's a timely release for Last of Us 2. But I mean, like with a Cyberpunk 2077.
Yep,
that game got delayed until November 19th. So they're saying that the release date for Cyberpunk could coincide with the release date of the PlayStation 5, in which they did not give either a release date. So they just said holiday 2020. So November, I'm going to say November. Okay. And then people will be retailers will be taking pre-orders. Say maybe August, September.
All right, I can see that. Fair enough.
I save your money, Rob. It's gonna be $500. So I mean, set aside, get a part-time job or, get a lemonade stand.
All right. Yeah, I already working up. Yeah.
Get a paper route.
Another job. All right, so that is that's all for video games for right now. Now going on to more timely news. So with the Snyder Cut being finally getting a release date on HBO Max next year, Ray Fisher has come out and
this was like big news this morning.
Strongly rebuked his praise for Joss Whedon, which a lot of actors, especially at Comic-Con, when they're like, "Oh, we love the movie."
I think they probably had to say that.
Oh yeah, they have to. They have to. I mean, look at what happened to Andrew Garfield after he kind of said I wasn't a big fan of the Spider-Man film. Cool, recast.
Well, when you're doing the numerous press and all this kind of stuff, bad mouthing a movie and saying like, "Oh, this movie sucks," and you can't do that, because the thing is, then people are going to be wondering, why should I even waste money and time on this movie?
Right, and
I figured when Joss Whedon came in, and Zack Snyder left, and because of the circumstance, I'm like, I think this movie may be in trouble, and so.
Well, not only that, but after Justice League came out, after everyone saw it, after all the press was done, and everyone's like, "Hey, we kind of want to see the Snyder Cut." The fact that everyone in the cast we want to see the Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
I mean,
and he deserves. And look, Zack Snyder deserves to have his voice shown and heard, because of the original plan. Of course, cat's out of the bag now. I mean, we can't. Oh, spoilers. Well, Darkseid was supposed to come in at the end,
and we'll see him at the end. Now, the big rumor And we'll get back to Joss in a second. But the big rumor, actually, and we'll see. So DC Fandom is coming out what, August?
Yeah, something like that. Then we got Comic-Con on the 22nd here.
Right. The virtual con, yeah. Now the DC Fandom, we're supposed to get a lot of new material. The new Batman game is supposed to be announced.
Suicide Squad game, possibly.
Right. Now the big rumor is that okay, so Michael Keaton has signed on to play Batman in the Flash,
Yeah,
which is awesome. And apparently the other big rumor is that
he's going to be like a Nick Fury because he signed on for multiple films.
Oh, did he?
Well, that's what they're saying, that they want him to be like a advisory role, and they're saying that this could give way to the long rumored Batman Beyond film.
Right. So
down with that.
now the rumor is that his suit will be the Kingdom Come Batman suit.
Yeah, I haven't really heard anything about that. I mean, people were just kind of excited that he was coming back, and
right. So
I think Keaton always did embrace Batman. He just didn't like what Schumacher did.
Exactly.
It's not like he didn't like the character.
So
he just didn't like what Schumacher did.
So the rumor I read, and this is all rumor, but what I read today was that this will be 30 years after Batman Returns. Like Batman Forever and Batman and Robin don't exist. Now, Michelle Pfeiffer might come back. They might have her be
wife. Yeah, and the thing is, in the opening of the Christ on Infinite Earths, he married Selena Kyle.
Exactly. So
I hope Robert will bring back Robert Wool, please. Right. Hey, Houston brother.
Now, the other kind of rumor is that they had Michael Keaton in case Ben Affleck didn't come back. Mm-hmm. Now, apparently HBO Max wants to do the Batman Joker Deathstroke film. So we might still get that Batman Joker Deathstroke film with Affleck, Leto, and Magninello.
And the thing is, this Snyder Cut is opening up a whole realm of possibilities, and it's going to show you that Warner Brothers, stop fucking with the films. Yes. You hired these directors; they're not puppets.
So
the thing is, you hired them for a reason.
Right.
David Ayers has made some great films. I mean,
well,
why don't you just let people do what they do?
So the special effects company that they hired for Snyder Cut did say that they are working on the Ayers cut.
Yeah, good. But I'm sure that you're gonna have to wait and see the reception to this Justice League cut, Snyder Cut. And the thing is, I mean, I was reading an article on comicbook.com where they're saying that DC has a chance now to kind of catch Marvel, because DC Comics have always embraced the idea of the multiverse. With Crisis on Infinite Earths, especially, 86, that big mega event.
Right.
And they've always embraced it. Marvel kind of, is kind of tap danced around it, or they'll, kind of feature it every now and then. Not the Spider-Geddon, most.
Well, you've had
Spider-Verse.
When you've had the Spider-Verse, you've had Spider-Geddon, you've had Age of Apocalypse.
Yeah.
You've had the ends, like you've had the Hulk end, you've had
Punisher the end, Wolverine the end, I believe.
You've got the old man series.
Oh yes, Old Man Logan.
Old Man Logan, Old Man Hawkeye, Old Man Quill.
Yeah. So the thing is, I mean, DC, with Crisis on Infinite Earths, was so well done.
Right.
And they embrace the fact of different Earths.
Right.
Now, the thing is, you still have a lot of Earths out there in this new continuity, that the CW has established. So the thing is, feasibly, because Teen Titans was in that, was in the Crisis on Infinite Earths, which I found just awesome. Batman 89. So the thing is, you have, and then Ezra Miller showed up on the Flash.
Yeah.
Face to face with Grant Gustin. So,
exactly.
you could feasibly do it. You can have multiple versions of a character exist at the same time and not get confused, as long as you explain,
exactly,
hey, there's a multiverse.
You have Earth 89, you have Earth 3, and Ezra Miller can bounce back and forth between the different Batman.
I mean, hey, dude, I want to see Earth 2 version of you, dude.
Right?
Is he evil? He probably is.
Probably. But like, but you look at you've got, and we're gonna get like what 3 Batman in 1 year. You're gonna get Robert Pattinson's Batman, which is still going. You've got Michael Keaton, and then you've got the Affleck. So
Yeah.
it will be interesting to see.
And you had 2 Jokers too,
Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix and Jared Leto.
Jared Leto. So
and then before that you had the Heath Ledger Joker. So yeah, you can have these exist within the same thing. I mean, and plus DC's always done Elseworlds and
yep.
So the thing is DC can they have a huge potential. I'm glad they're finally realizing
DC can do certain things that Marvel can't.
Yeah, and it's because of what they've always done in the comics.
You've always had the crises. So yeah, so that regardless of whichever Batman we get, any one of them would be amazing. But Michael Keaton as an older Batman from '89.
Yeah, and hey, say that Robin didn't exist in the Burton universe, because we never did see Batman after '92, so he could have trained somebody. And Marlon Wayans was supposed to play Robin.
Yeah.
So hey, I would mind seeing an older, Tim Drake, and Marlon Wayans does not look 48.
No, he doesn't. No, he could play it.
He would probably be Nightwing at this point.
And then of course, you've got the fact that David Ayers has acknowledged that in his Suicide Squad, Dick Grayson is dead.
Yeah.
Dick Grayson is the dead Robin.
Zack Snyder even said it was a Dick Grayson Robin that died, not the Jason Todd.
Which I wonder why he went Dick Grayson over Jason Todd.
I think he was trying to kind of throw us a little swerve there.
I mean, he killed off Jimmy Olsen, so.
Yeah, exactly. So I
still have a big problem with that. I do.
Yeah, I mean, because the thing is, Jimmy Olsen and Superman go together like peanut butter and jelly.
Exactly.
And Superman is really the only, and I mean, Jimmy Olsen is really the only one who really gets in that inner circle of Superman.
It's true.
He's the one that he trusts the most, and he gives him that little watch that only, it gives the frequency of sound that only Superman can hear.
Right. Jimmy Olsen, Lois Lane are the only 2 people that, yeah. He's kind of like the Rick Jones of the DC universe.
Yes.
So.
And even his own comic series, too.
Exactly. But so Joss Whedon, I mean, he done what? I think 3-4 films in 10 years. I don't know what's going on with him, but.
Well, he's got money, too.
True.
He can choose. He pick and choose when he wants to work. I mean, when you're like that.
That is true. All right. On other stuff, we have a new Ninja Turtle reboot.
Yes, coming from Nickelodeon and Seth Rogen. Okay.
Seth Rogen. Here's the thing. Say what you will about Seth Rogen on his movies.
Hey, Preacher was great.
But when it comes to comic book adaptations, the man knows his comic books.
And Preacher, I know that we're going to get
Preacher and the Boys.
Yes, and Preacher to me. I need to go back and have they even done the final season of Preacher yet?
No, yeah, I need to finish it. Yeah, they finished it.
Okay, I need to go back and bone up on it because it was something that kind of came and went. Preacher. It was a short one, much like the comic book series where it had a definitive beginning and end, which I like.
4 seasons. I'm halfway through season 2, so I need to get caught up.
Yeah, I do too. They need to put it out on. Is it out on DC or HBO Max?
No, but it's on Hulu.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I don't have it.
I'm actually trying to get caught up on Black Lightning. So I'm caught up on Legends, which was I actually did like this last season. The big rumor is that next season might be they might introduce the Thanagarians. So
again,
yeah.
But but going back to
the Ninja Turtles, it'll be CGI.
He I think he is gonna crack it. Because the thing is, the first movie is always gonna be the benchmark.
Yes.
To me. And with the 2 live action movies we got, I liked the kind of like the gritty look of the Turtles, but that CG I think was just a little out of place.
I agreed.
And it's going to be an animated film.
Yes, which
I don't know if it's traditional or computer generated, but I think Seth Rogen, you're gonna have some humor because he's a humorous guy. I love Seth Rogen, but I think he's gonna crack this. I mean, I think he's gonna make this probably the best since the 1990.
I think so too. I liked that that first Ninja Turtle CGI movie. I liked it, but it wasn't my favorite.
Yeah, I mean, Imaji did a very good job with it. It's just too bad it wasn't successful enough to where we get that Battle of the Planets movie. And I really wanted that Battle of the Planets movie.
I know.
Because I talked to Kevin Monroe. We had an Imaji breakfast at San Diego Comic-Con. This was back here, I want to say 2009, actually.
Okay.
And he showed up. And I mean, I told him, I'm like, dude, when is Gotcha Man going to come out? Gotcha Man going to come out? And, it didn't look good at that point.
Yeah. So, I mean, I bet you if this one does well, it might lead to something else.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we get a Thundercats movie.
That'd be badass.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I have not watched Ozark, but they are getting a fourth and final season.
You've never seen any Ozark?
Nope.
Dude, you got Netflix. What are you doing?
I know. I gotta watch it.
But you know what? In your defense, though, there's so much good TV out there.
There really is.
And I did watch Stargirl.
So I need to watch that.
It is very, very good. Very wholesome. Joel McHale plays Starman.
Right.
It's good to see him in a superhero role because the guy used to play football. He used to be a wide receiver.
Right. No, he looks like a superhero. He's never been out of shape.
Good to see him. I mean, even if it's just for a little bit.
Right.
The lead actress, I forget her name, but she makes a great Courtney.
Does she? Okay.
Yeah.
Now on top of that, Lucifer is getting a sixth and final season, which is awesome. But I like when networks and streaming services give a show the chance to end the series on their own.
Yeah, I hate when it ends on a cliffhanger, much like Hannibal did.
The Runaways.
Yeah.
Love The Runaways.
Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah, I need to finish that.
I should be on season 2 right now.
I'm like towards the end of season 1 still.
But one thing I do like about Cloak and Dagger was that they give the two lead actors, they gave them a chance to reprise their roles as Cloak and Dagger on the SpiderMan animated series that's running right now.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of final seasons, I'm watching S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm loving it. I love the fact that each episode jumps to a different decade.
Yeah.
And the intro starts off like it would in that decade.
Oh, that's cool.
So like so in the 30s, it's like a 1930s reel. The 40s like very murder mystery, black and white.
It seems that they're taking a lot of chances, and the thing is, Rob, I've been reading about it. I'm not well versed upon Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I've watched bits and pieces here and there, past the first season. I think if you axed the first season or had the show started out, like it did after Captain America Winter Soldier when it got real good. I think that show could have survived and would have been a more highly touted show. It's going to be like a cult. It's going to be a cult classic show where you have like your fans, of the show, but it's not going to have like that wide reaching like the Netflix stuff or any Disney Plus stuff.
It's true. And that's what sucks. Like the first season was very formulaic.
Rough. It was unlike, it was basically like what Star Trek The Next Generation was in its first season. Yeah. Trying to figure things out, and then once that second season hit, boom, they're off to the races because they have all the characters set up by then. And you got motivations and relationships.
And if you ask anyone who's watched S.H.I.E.L.D., they'll tell you the same thing. Each season has gotten progressively better.
And that's what a show is supposed to do.
Right. And so this season, like, everything's running just like on all cylinders. Like, this last episode was they're in 1976, so it had like this like very like 1970s like
$6 Million Man.
Huh?
Like
Almost
$6 Million Man.
Almost, yeah.
Heart to Heart.
where they had they had an announcer announce each character's name, and they had little clips, and they had the Shield and the Hydra logo going around, and
like that, dude. I like that. I'm just gonna have to catch up because, like I said, I mean, trying to do movies and do video games. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there, man. I mean, only so many hours in a day.
But it is very worth it. And this one is they're trying to save Shield from being erased, so they're jumping through time trying to save themselves, pretty much. So it's really cool. It's really cool. It connects to Peggy Carter or Agent Carter. It connects to the movies. It's kind of connecting behind the scenes, which is very cool. Now, our last episode was obviously the podcast blackout. So we've been seeing changes in Hollywood. Mike Henry from Family Guy and Jenny Slate from Big Mouth have said they will no longer.
Kristen Bell
have all said they will no longer voice characters of color.
Good. I mean, the thing is, why would you not? And Wendell Pierce from The Wire trim, he wants to voice Cleveland. And if that were to happen, it's going to be a different take on the character.
Yes.
Because Wendell Pierce, if you know who he is and you've seen him act, very good actor, but his voice is not, like Mike Henry was doing.
He's not. Yeah.
It's more authoritative and full of common sense. I mean, not a dig at Mike Henry.
No,
it's just different. It's just going to be a
very
different.
And if you know Wendell Pierce, his as a person, what he does on the in real life, he's very active in the community, very vocal, which is he's a very intelligent person. But screw it, if Wendell Pierce wants to play Cleveland, let him play Cleveland.
But hey, I'm down for it. Just like with Hank Azaria stepping down, from Apu.
Yes.
It's just it just comes from a time where actors of color weren't really given opportunities, and you had all white cast portraying black people, and that kind of goes back to that whole I don't know if you ever heard of Amos and Andy.
Oh yeah.
Well, black people were played by white people,
right.
And when it was a radio show, and they hired black actors for the TV show, and actually they were showing Amos and Andy on the Family Channel back here in the late 80s, early 90s, and a lot of black groups protested that show.
Right.
Because the show was in a very, very negative light.
I was so I was bored at work, and I was going to YouTube, and I saw John Schneider, who we've interviewed, wonderfully nice guy, talking about the Dukes of Hazzard and the General Lee, and how he never took it as a racist symbol.
No, and you and I were kids when that show was popular. Very, very little
kids. We
were
born when it was popular. It was 77.
Well, that's true, but during the heyday, of when it was on CBS. I mean, you and I were 3 and 4 respectively.
Right.
So I mean, we were really young kids, so we didn't get the significance behind that Confederate flag. I always thought it was a badass car.
Right. Exactly. So, and I think that I don't think that the Dukes of Hazzard should be taken off TV, but I think they need to do what they're doing with Gone with the Wind and say
disclaimer.
and have a disclaimer. Because yes, that flag is obviously has very particular meaning.
Yeah.
But there should be because the General Lee is it's a classic.
Yeah, it's one of those classic cars, and just like with NASCAR getting rid of the Confederate flags.
Exactly. Certain it's time. It's about time. It's 200 years. It's 100 years.
Yeah. Well, I went to John H. Reagan High School, and they're doing this with a lot of monuments too. They're I know in sports teams, a lot of the owners. I mean, they had a statue of the Carolina Panthers owner. I think the former owner or something like that, and they had a statue of him. They're taking that down.
Really?
And, yeah, because I think he's kind of it's been known that he's a racist. And so I went to John H. Reagan High School. Now, John H. Reagan owned slaves, and I think he was something that was very racist too.
Right.
And I know they had a statue at UT in the 6-pack, near the tower.
Is he really? I didn't know that. Yeah.
And they changed a lot of high schools. like a Robert E. Lee, and I know John H. Reagan High School is now Heights High School, which I like that change. I mean,
Same.
but the thing is, because it was the first school in the Heights.
Well, yeah, it should be Heights. Yeah. I have no problem with them taking down statues, and at all.
Yeah.
At all. But so I applaud them, and it's not like they were forced. Like they just said, like we take it with they're taking it upon themselves. Okay, like, there should be somebody else, and it should be.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the significance and why they're taking them down, you see, I mean, that is a symbol of racism.
Right.
The Confederacy. Exactly. I mean, that was the South, and really the thing is, like Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless were talking about on Undisputed. That Confederate, like a lot of the fans and everything are pissed off that NASCAR is saying, hey, no more Confederate flags. And look, it's a symbol of racism. That Civil War, the North and South fighting, South lost.
Yeah, exactly.
And the thing is, it's like, oh well, we want to preserve the heritage, and I mean, it's about racism. The reason why you fought is because you wanted to keep slavery going.
Exactly, you wanted to keep slaves. Exactly.
And that flag there is a symbol of it. I remember there was a classmate of mine in the 8th grade who revealed that he had a Confederate flag hanging up in his room. And the thing is, getting to know him over the course of that year, I didn't, I wasn't really surprised that he had one in there because of racist language that he used.
Yeah, no, I'm not shocked at all. All right, let's jump on to some quick hits. Alpha Flight might be getting a movie.
Yeah, I think it should. I mean, plus you have the first, the openly gay superhero in North Star.
Yep.
And it would give it's a Canadian X-Men movie. I would really like to see it, even if, hey, it's a Disney Plus thing.
I dig it. I would dig that.
And we did get our first trailer for Superman, Man of Tomorrow. Darren Criss is Superman, Zachary Quinto is Lex Luthor, and Alexandra Daddario is Lois Lane.
I was very hesitant at first when I saw the picture, but watching the trailer, 100% on board with it.
Yeah. I mean, I really want to see it. I mean, DC's always made great animated films. They're starting to turn a corner with their live action films. So this is a good time for comic book fans, man.
That is true. Let's see here. What else we got? Animorphs might be getting a movie. I never read Animorphs.
I watched the show on Nickelodeon. That was my introduction to Sean Ashmore.
Okay.
And Paolo Costanzo, I believe his name is, from Road Trip and Royal Pains.
Yep, Paolo Costanzo. Oh, okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So that was my, introduction to them. And they had a little crossover with the Transformers too, the toys and everything.
Did they really? Oh yeah, they did. That's right.
Well, because they're Animorphs, so they can turn into animals. So yeah, I mean, and Hasbro manufactured the toys.
Fair enough. Let's see here. What else we got? Cobra Kai is moving to Netflix, so maybe I'll finally watch it.
Yes. Oh, dude, you were missing out.
I know. I want to watch. I just don't want to watch it on YouTube. So I will watch it on Netflix.
Yeah. Well, the whole reason behind that move is because YouTube is getting out of originals, and it was really, and the thing is, YouTube kind of trying to do original programming was really sticking out like a sore thumb.
Well, that's like when Yahoo.
It's always about the people.
That's like when Yahoo did Community.
Yeah. And the thing is, I mean, like YouTube has always been something that's like very user defined.
Yeah. True.
And so the thing is, it should have always been on Netflix or some other, channel. But hey, go with what pays you the most. So, exactly. But I think you'll like it. And I don't think I've ever mentioned it on the year end list. I mean, and that's me, not
I think
being
season one you did. Season one you had it in your end of the year
top
list.
10. Yeah, but like season 2 was very good. So they're saying season 3 could possibly deal with Daniel going back to Okinawa and facing Chosen.
Really?
Yeah, I'm ready for that one. So season 3, of course. I mean, if you haven't, season 2 left off with Miguel. He got into a fight. It was like a big schoolyard brawl between the Cobra Kais and Miyagi-Do, and it ended up with Miguel. Basically, I think he broke his neck. or spine, something like that. So get a little Batman action going on there.
All right.
I understand we could see Elizabeth Shue.
Really?
Yeah, the cliffhanger was Johnny sent her a Facebook friend request, and she accepts it at the end.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I welcome.
Let's see here. Tenet and Wonder Woman 84 have been delayed again. Same with Mulan. Not shocked there.
Yeah. Well, listen. Let me tell you something. This virus here is spiking, and I read an article today where, the thing is, the Hollywood back to work is in jeopardy too, because in LA, and I read an article today. A friend of mine, is out in LA, and he posted it, and I read it. Dine in, can't do anymore. Here, in Houston, they've closed the bars.
Yep. Again. Yeah.
So the thing is, I say, just it has to be up in the air. I don't think we'll probably even see these movies until maybe next year, because with the way that this virus is going, I mean, they're talking about, hey, we don't have enough hospital beds. They're sending people to Conroe and Galveston.
I know. Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah. What else we got? A few quick TV show. Let's see here. Jermaine Clement is leaving What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh boy, that season 2 finale.
Oh, such a good finale.
So now it's out of the bag that Guillermo is a slayer.
I just what the fuck is happening here?
Yeah.
Oh God, I love that cast so much.
Matt Berry to me makes that show.
Dude, it all depends between Nandor and Laszlo.
Yeah.
Like, and here's the thing. Who's Laszlo's wife?
Oh well, I can't pronounce her name though, but she's very, very pretty.
Nadia.
Yeah, Nadia.
Like, Nadia is hilarious. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts. But like, sometimes I think they just give Laszlo or Nandor like the best lines. Who the fuck are you?
But if you ever watch Matt Berry in anything else, I mean, this guy's hilarious. The way that I came up on Matt Berry was he had a video that that I discovered, I think it was back here in 2006, 2007 or 2008. And he's trying to pick up on these women, but they all have boyfriends. So he's like, oh, really? Fuck you. And he just keeps saying, fuck you. And I was like, who is this guy? And I kept seeing him, like, okay, Matt Berry. I'm like, this guy's awesome.
Laszlo is fantastic. But I want to see how the writing changes with Jermaine leaving.
Yeah, hopefully, the new showrunner can really corral the writers and really, make it funny.
Exactly. Yeah. So I don't know if you watch this, but Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist got its second season. I love the show.
What streaming service or channel?
It's on NBC.
Okay.
It's with Jane Levy from Suburgatory. But she hears people's feelings through song. So but it's like dramedy / musical. So I dig it. I like it a lot. Unsolved Mysteries came out.
Yeah.
We watched the first episode.
How was it not hearing Robert Stack's voice?
Weird.
Yeah, I bet. And that's why I was a bit leery on it.
But it's still good. It's still interesting. The first episode is a really good, really like messed up episode. So I won't do any spoilers, but it's still good. It's still very good. And then Doom Patrol came out. I'm gonna watch that probably tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I need to watch Doom Patrol too. I mean, it's just like kind of a lot of stuff happening. But yeah.
And then finally this month we get Psych 2, Lassie Come Home, which looks hilarious. Yeah. What else we get? The Boys season 2 comes out in September.
I was kind of hoping for a late July.
Same here.
But, hey.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine has scrapped season 8. They had 4 episodes in the bag, but after the protests and the marches, they've decided to reevaluate the show.
Right, make something a little more topical. Because, I mean, they have dealt with racial profiling. And
they've done that in the past when it concerned Terry Crews, but now it's going to be like some. I think they'll focus more on that, and I want to see what they do with it. I like this article you sent me. Harry Potter needs to move away from J.K. Rowling.
Now, she's made some very disparaging comments regarding transgendered people, and that doesn't make her look too good. Now, she is the grandmother, the godmother of this franchise, and to tell you the truth, man, I mean, I am not really like a big Harry Potter fan. I'm not.
Yeah, that's the thing I don't understand. I love Harry Potter. I love the movies. I haven't read the books, but like I love the characters that.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, I've seen some of the movies and everything, and I love the character and like how she's basically got kids to read, get excited about a book.
But it's almost like it would almost be like finding out Stan Lee was a hardcore racist.
Oh boy, which he was not, because if you really look at it, he championed anti-racism. He championed integration and coming together.
Like Stan Lee was very much like for civil rights, for gay rights, for like he was always for the people.
No, he wasn't perfect, but the man never
he wasn't perfect, and
made these disparaging comments about about people who were different from him. But I mean, it just made J.K. Rowling just look, oh boy,
looked very bad.
Very. I mean, you look, J.K. You've made your money, more than made your money. You got off welfare.
Like I think it's time to maybe just take a step back.
Go away. Yeah. Go away.
What else we got? All right. So then Elizabeth Banks has been cast as Miss Frizzle and the Magic School Bus. Perfect.
Did you ever read those books when you were a kid?
No, I didn't.
Oh man, they're great. I read them. There was even an animated series on PBS too.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's perfect casting.
Perfect.
Very great. I would have thought Jenny Slate, over her, but hey, she played Rita Repulsa, and I thought she was a great Rita Repulsa.
She really was.
It's too bad that.
I like that movie. I did like that movie.
Yeah, I mean, of course, like as we said, we had our issues with it, but for the most part, 7 out of 10. Exactly. And I liked her Rita Repulsa. I would have loved to have seen if they would have brought in Lord Zed for the sequel. Now they're going to reboot it, of course, again. I would. You know what? I would pull a Far From Home and have her reprise.
Oh yeah, 100%. All right, so I don't know if you sent me the link. I don't know if you looked at it, but the Avengers game, which got postponed again, good. We saw the first looks at Philip Sheldon, the leader, Nick Fury, and MODOK.
And there's been some gameplay, the gameplay footage too of Kamala Khan, Ms. Marvel, and Thor.
Like I like the gameplay, I just don't like the designs.
I mean, it's they're trying to move away and make it their own thing. Crystal Dynamics, announced this game back here in 2017. So it's taken a while for the game, like 2016, I believe.
But here's the thing: you can make it your own and not make it look like crap.
That's true. But here's the thing: I mean, we got time from now until September, so we'll have to see what happens.
And I'm pretty sure if someone actually went back and looked at some of our older episodes, like I didn't like Spider-Man's suit for the new game. It grew on me, and I ended up loving it in the game. But they gave you like 30 different suits as well. So
yeah, so you can kind of pick and choose your own.
So here's hoping that they give us the suits in the game as well. I just don't like the way that any of them look. So closing for episode 45, we do have a down note. We did lose two of our favorites. We lost Joel Schumacher and Dennis ONeil.
Joel Schumacher
was 82?
80. Joel Schumacher was 80.
He was 80.
Yeah, I had no idea that he was that old.
I didn't know he was that old. I didn't know he had cancer.
Yeah, I had heard something like a little, and something in passing that he had cancer. The thing is, he is a talented filmmaker. If you look at him pre and post Batman, the guy had talent.
Well, here's the thing.
And then the thing is, when you bring up Schumacher, Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, he was much more than that.
St.
Lost
Elmo's Fire, Lost Boys. I mean,
Falling Down.
Falling Down, Thin Red Line.
It's a bad movie.
I mean, here's a
I love Phone Booth.
Joel Schumacher. It was a fantastic director. Now, yes, say what you will about Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. But once again, Warner Brothers stepped in and told you you have to make a movie that sells toys. Which, you know what? And here's the thing. As a kid, I had my issue with Batman Forever, but I still enjoyed it.
Yeah. But it just got worse with Batman and Robin.
Right.
Bane was not at all.
No.
Portraying the comics. More of a henchman.
I loved Jim Carrey's Riddler was still amazing.
Oh yeah, I mean he kind of played it like Gorshin a little bit.
A little bit. And here's the thing: Tommy Lee Jones, perfectly cast as Two-Face, but horribly written. But there's a scene in the movie where he gets it right. And it's at the end of the movie where he's about to kill Batman, and he goes, "Don't you need to flip your coin?" And he switches to Harvey Dent. Perfect scene, but yeah, I will always hate the scene where he keeps like flipping the coin to get the outcome he wants.
Yeah, and they played that, and that was so brilliantly portrayed on Batman in the animated series.
Yeah. And then Dennis ONeil, I didn't know that he was in failing health as well. I actually got to interview him twice.
Yeah, great guy. I met him at Comic-Con San Diego.
Yeah, Denny was a wonderfully nice person. Let me interview him twice at his son's house in Brooklyn, which was very cool. He was, very much, every word of the, I don't say the word liberal, but if you read any of his old stuff, he was very much on the forefront of civil rights.
Oh yeah, he wrote some of the best Batman stories. I mean, Green Arrow,
Green Lantern, The Question, and Neil Adams wrote, like when he passed, he goes, "Were we friends? No, but did we work together and brilliantly? Yeah. He had brilliant words, and I put brilliant pictures behind it." I'm like, yeah, pretty much.
You don't always have to, like the person, just get along with them. Hey, if anything, The Last Dance showed me that.
Well, look at Richard Pryor and
Gene Wilder. Yeah,
like,
they didn't
like we weren't friends, but we clicked.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh my god, that's look at MythBusters. They clicked. They just But yeah, and then in the 80th anniversary of Green Lantern, we get Dennis ONeil. I think his final Green Lantern, Green Arrow story, which was about kind of evolving as a person, which was beautiful.
and which Green Arrow was striving to constantly do.
Yep.
And and the CW series took that to heart too.
Very much, and I think that's why that show was so good for such a long time. That's episode 45, folks. We will try and do better with Jason and I have just been really busy with work. But that is episode 45. Hopefully we'll have more news probably around Comic-Con. Probably about 2 weeks we'll have a lot more Comic-Con news to cover. So until that time, I'm your co-host Bobby Bearhart, and with me as always,
I'm Jason Elliott. Stay safe and wash your hands. Wear a mask.
Oh yes, please wear a mask.
They have a mandate here.
Not that
you have to wear a mask.
Wear a goddamn mask.
And if you're going out somewhere, it's not going to take that much for you to wear a mask. I mean, the thing is, if you're going out to the grocery store, that's 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
You can go back home.
We get it. It's hot outside. We get it. It's hot outside. Yes, it is.
And it's kind of tough to breathe in those masks.
Yes. But still, wear a mask. And with that, we will see you in the funny papers.
Later.